Hey, what's up? You may be new to this channel, and there may be a few questions you're asking. First question you may be asking is, where's the footage? Answer to that first question is, it was very, very rainy and cold that day, so I didn't get much footage, which is no excuse. I just wasn't expecting it to be as cold as it was. Plus, it was the first time doing photography in months, so I just wasn't prepared as I usually am and wasn't in the full 100% preparation as I normally would be. The second thing is we're going to be going through a little bit of my editing process and showing off the photos that I like, going through some of them, talking about them, talking about that day. Change these to flag. So I essentially flag all these photos. Some people have star them. Um, so you have these stars, you have flag. You can do whatever you want, and essentially that makes it so you can pick the photos, you can change the filter, and then do flag. Some people do the stars. I personally, in my experience and my process, flagged works the best. And then after I flag them, I set the filter, and then I only have the flagged photos, and I can go to develop and develop the photos. You haven't done photography for 3 months. What did you learn from it? What was it all about? All these types of things. This place was essentially a location where there's these two lakes or rivers. No, they're not lakes, they're rivers. These two rivers right next to each other on either side. Now, I didn't go to the perfect place for looking at the rivers on both sides. I marked a few different spots. This was also after a 10-hour day. I wasn't like super in the mode to drive around a bunch to get the perfect 10 out of 10 shot. This was just really to get myself back into the flow of creating for photography, doing it, the action of actually doing it, right? Because sometimes you need that momentum. That's what I would say for any creative that's having problems creating and are in creative block is like just go out, even if it's around your house, just like go out, or depends on your creative, I guess. If you're doing photography, then just go around your house and take photos of things. If you're drawing, if it your creative medium is drawing, then just draw stuff. Just draw anything. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's just shapes on the paper. Just draw stuff because that's gonna get you forward momentum and it's gonna be a snowball effect. And I really don't know how I want to edit this photo. It's not a good photo. Compositionally, it wasn't bad. Not like it's a horrible photo. It's just for what it stands for. Like you got the two boats here. You have the houses. It's not like it's saying anything bad here, but it's not, even with cropping, it just doesn't necessarily feel like a good, it's not what it is. What the problem is, it has nothing to do with the crop or anything. It just wasn't, it just isn't exposed right here. It looks like the highlights is what's blown out based off the histogram here. As I said, it was a very stormy day, very rainy, rainy day. So I'm gonna save this photo. Even though it's not a good photo, I'm gonna save it. Why? Because it will be a good example of what to not to do in the future for myself. And if you don't do this with your photos, I recommend doing something of along the sort of, titling them in a way of dating or telling yourself what they are. A matter of like, oh, boat, two boats in a river on, something to explain to yourself what it is, or maybe put it in a fold. Maybe you don't want to do dating because you don't care. Oh, this was done in 2022. Okay, I don't. Maybe you don't care it was done if it was done in 2022 or 2018, but maybe you want to put it in a folder that's, oh, this is all my nature landscape stuff. This is all my city stuff. I think it's good to organize this. And this is really off center. What was I doing here? Was I drunk, tripping over stuff? What the heck? This one's off center, but this one right here, which when I saw it, it didn't, I didn't think that I would like it, but I do. Sometimes the shots that you don't think you would like, you do. So you always have to not take a lot of shots, but sometimes take the shot that you're like, that seems boring. Sometimes it seems boring in the moment. At least it was for me. It did seem like a boring day. And you gotta remember, like I said, I was really, really cold. It was like 5 degrees at like most, and it was pouring down rain, so you can't really see the rain much. Maybe you can see some of the raindrops in here. And I was thinking about of trying to capture the rain a little bit better. Is that a bird? Wow, I captured a bird in there. Maybe that's why I like the photo. It just has subtle details in here that just kind of frame the photo really well. And the exposure is done pretty well. It's a darker photo, but it's done in a nice way. It's been a while since I've edited a photo too. Go to HSL. I like doing this more than the just vibrance and saturation because you can actually control like what is going up in saturation and vibrance and be like, oh, I want some more blues in there. I want, and then like you see this is mostly greens and reds and yellows, and you're like, okay, I want a little bit more green in there. I think that's honestly a good photo. I don't think I need to do much with messing around with the exposure. Let's just check. One video I watched a long time ago, which was a good tip that someone said, is like go on the extremes of both levels. Like do it slow, but like go to the extremes just so you can see what you're working with. And I do like that because, example, you could be like, oh, this is a dark image. It up very slightly. What they do personally is they do that with every slider. Sometimes I don't think you need to necessarily do that with every slider, but upping it a little bit can go a long way sometimes. Blow out the sky details. So usually if you're trying to get the sky details and you lower these highlights a little bit more, but then if you lower the highlights, pretty much goes back to the same image. I think 20. It's not too bright, maybe 30. I feel like I got used to the 40. Yeah, and then I could always move this up just because I'm interested in what this crop would be. I do like that crop. I really like that crop, and I'll save the original too. Better if I just save both, then I have both to work with. Couldn't get the focus point. I'm still figuring out focus points on stuff. Obviously, where you focus is gonna focus, but still difficult because say if I focus here, it might blur out something like here, which is fine, but maybe I want it all not blurred out, which then it has to do with aperture. Or maybe to actually get a focus point on this, you have to move the camera to a certain angle to get it perfectly lined up. This is also an interesting photo for the opposite reason. Like the blur kind of gives it a little bit of mystery. Oh, what's happening? Kind of have to like look closer. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from this. Might be better as a black and white photo. Definitely could work as a black and white photo. Let's just go black and white real quick. I don't know. Up it like one. Not a lot here. For the black and white, I definitely want it darker. Let's look at some of these black and whites. I think it works. Looking at it again, the black and white, it definitely looks better with black and white. If we add some contrast in here, for sure, it definitely is looking better with the black and white. Add a little, we don't want a lot of white here. Yeah, I like this. Like, these are horrible photos. What are you doing as a photographer? You need to get much better before you even post videos. That's how I'm, posting videos, posting photos. That's how you get feedback. These are just, I don't if you zoom in, maybe, like if you zoom in this crop, it might be all right. No way to really like crop this one. This has to be a black and white photo because the lighting, turning this one to black and white looks 10 out of 10 times better. But if I were to turn this back to color with these settings, it does not look good. Like it looks all right, but it just like that's a big difference. Like taking the color out of the equation makes that photo much easier to digest. So what I was going with this is these colors down here were really beautiful. We got some beautiful fall colors. Trying to just not have the geese in here, not have the fence. Out of all the photos I got, this was the best version of that. And this is the best result of that. Now, I really don't like this photo that much. I don't want all this random stuff here. I really want it to be a photo like something like this. Like something you would take portrait like with your phone. But it just doesn't work. Just didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I'm gonna have to lower this. What is can kind of get away with that. I want it to look natural. Saving it, but I don't really like the photo. It's not any it's not going to my favorites, that's for sure. This I just kept because it's alright. Has a lot of cool elements going on in this image. I want the color in here. Like that's part of the reason why I did take it where I took it. Where are you, yellows? I don't see you whatsoever. A lot of saturation. In this case, I don't want to blow out the sky, but I kinda do. And then this is also the last photo I'm editing. Things that were going through my mind is looking for that color, especially in this image, looking for that color, looking for different stuff, trying to keep the raindrops off the lens. There were so many times I had to dry off the lens, and I think I just need to get better at that. Like, always have the microfiber cloth with it. I might, like, over time, I might have scratched this lens or something. I've had this lens forever, so not that it's good, not that I'm saying anyone should. Frustrating not getting in photos you like. I guess these are the photos make the cut. 9 photos, which is a lot, but it's just I think my eyes not as tuned. Hope you guys did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.